The most underrated Chrysos Heir is a toss-up between Anaxa and Cipher. But for me, it's Cipher. She is a character that I almost skipped out on, being poorly placed between Hyacinth, a support needed for the recent anniversary character Castorice, and just before Phainon, another highly anticipated character. After using Cipher for over 2 patches, there is a lot I have discovered and I want to share it with you. In this video, we will take a deep dive into how good Cipher is in battle and why I feel she was the best pull I ever did this year. So be prepared because I'm going to yap a lot. So why is Cipher good? She is a character that simply requires almost no input from the player and she can just give you buffs. Yep, just like that. Just need to exist. Similar to Field giving you super break. But did you know that because of this effect of giving buffs simply by being there, she can actually buff some characters before anyone can move in battle? Let me give you some examples. Yunli's technique. It does an intuit cow at the start of the battle. This cow damage is usually small because there are no buffs at the beginning of the battle. But Cipher's damage taken vulnerability works with it because she just needs to exist for it to work. So this is one of the ways you can buff the technique. The next one is Castorice technique. Summons a dragon that overtakes everything at the start of the battle, and then you can use the dragon breath, or you can choose not to. The only way to buff it early is by activating another character's ultimate or having a buff that already exists. So a first dragon can actually make use of Cipher's buff, just like Yunli's Intuit Cow. The third thing is battle start follow-up attacks. Some examples are Cipher herself, Archer, and Kafka. These are all triggered after the allies use an attack, and for Archer and Kafka if they have charges for it, which at the start of the battle they will have at least one charge. Pre-battle techniques such as Acheron or Silver Wolf do damage at the start of the battle. So what happens is when you use these techniques, right, these techniques and the follow-up attacks can all be buffed by Cipher just by existing, and they also don't mind Cipher in a team. So if we get any future characters that have something similar, they too can be buffed by Cipher at the beginning. So you might be wondering, isn't this just a really niche case that doesn't affect most of the characters in game? That is true. But for any battle, an extra boost to your damage always helps. Whether you are a casual player or you are a zero cycler, the latter does benefit more from it though. And this is only the beginning. Next on the agenda is 0 SP consumption and being fully SP positive. Every other support in the game probably wants to skill every now and then, but not Cipher. Like even Ranmi and Tribi, who have pre-combat buffs by using the technique, want to skill again later to maintain that buff. You never need to use Cipher's skill, ever. Unless you play Sustainless, and even then, sometimes you don't even need to use it. She will always generate USP just by taking a turn, and she's also played fast, so you're gonna get lots of SP. Provided she's holding her signature like Cone or Resolution Shines, every time she attacks the Patron, which the Patron will always exist on the field no matter what, she is debuffing a stat that is beneficial to every single DPS in the game, which is defense down. A follow-up attack can even help to apply it early in some scenarios. One example is, you end wave 1 before Cipher is able to do the follow-up attack. Thus, at the beginning of wave 2, Cipher would instantly do her follow-up attack. Okay, to add on to this, right, her technique. You can switch to another character after you use it, enter battle, and it will still work. Why is this good? So when you enter battle, she attacks everything on the field, applying the defense down if she's holding the correct light cones, and this counts as an attack, so it will trigger pre-battle follow-up attacks. And the good thing about this is, This triggers before other characters' techniques. Because this is just an attack that happens, it doesn't like make Cipher appear on the action bar, so it will always happen before other characters' techniques. This means a character like Yunli can have a techniques cow be fully buffed by Cipher's vulnerability and defense down. Same goes for the rest I mentioned earlier. For Fei Xiao, which I forgot earlier, Cipher can actually make Fei Xiao do a turn 0 fallout attack with her technique. So let me explain, okay? Before the battle starts, it's considered turn 0 because nobody has moved yet. That's why I say it's turn 0. So what happens is Fei Xiao technique triggers the tornado, which causes Cipher to do a fallout attack because Fei Xiao did an attack. So because Cipher did a fallout attack, Fei Xiao also does her fallout attack. This gives Fei Xiao her talent's 60% damage buff plus 1 stack of a signature like Cone if she's holding it before she even takes her first turn. Okay, then the battle starts officially. Cipher will go first because Cipher is naturally faster. So her fallout attack is refreshed. She attacks, and then Fei Xiao goes, takes her first turn. Her fallout attack also gets refreshed. Because these are all fallout attacks, you will all generate a free 0.5 Flying Warrior spell attack. And if you're E2, each of these fallout attacks does 1. So this is kind of like free stacks for Fei Xiao before the battle even starts, which is actually pretty good. The last thing about Kit, I covered this in my true damage analysis video, so if you're interested, link in top right, but I'm going to add on to that. So you might not have enough damage. Only the boss is left. Last cycle. Don't got good relics. Refuse to farm for Eagle for 0 cycles. No dance like Kun. No problem. Cipher can solve all of that with her talent. She's very talented.
Okay.
Just by standing there, she can record damage to be converted to true damage later via her ultimate, being more effective the less targets left on the field. This even works with Phainon. She will record while he is in his ultimate form while the entire team is departed. By holding her ultimate until the end, you can use it to clean up whatever is left, ensuring your success. Now wait, I know some of you will have this question, okay? She sucks in auto. The auto will just use her out when it's up.
Oh no!
That is correct. But don't worry, because I have a solution that you yourself might not even have known. Okay, so you go into your settings, right? You go to the last tab, see combat, how to cast ultimate during auto battle. You can simply just set it to manual. So now your Cipher will no longer use the ultimate by herself, and you can just manually do it. The only drawback is you have to activate your other character's ultimates manually. But I would say this is a fair compromise to make sure your Cipher behaves herself during auto battle. With that being said, there is one last thing about this recording of damage. As we all know, HP is constantly inflating in the endgame.
Oh no!
This means Cipher will only get better because she can record even more damage to be converted into true damage. And this extends her shelf life. So why do I think she was the best pull for my account this year? So far we have gotten plenty of DPS and gotten a few supports as well. With every content, I'm always using different characters. Yes, I don't actually use Sunday Robin Chibi all the time for every single team. Sometimes one or more of them are not even needed. But Cipher hasn't really left my team for endgame runs ever since I got her. You can probably count a few occurrences, but most of the time she was there. But why? Well, I'm a firm believer of not farming Eagle. While being mostly a 0 cycle main, Cipher has helped tremendously in allowing me to do Eagle-less runs because her stored damage makes up for the extra turns and damage my team would have needed. And she can fit into any team because every DPS wants her buffs. While her buffs cannot compare to the power of other harmonies, her true damage makes up for it, sometimes totaling between 30 to 50% of the final phase's boss HP in this clip here when you keep the ultimate all the way until the end. This makes her a very valued member of my teams. You know what's the crazy thing? I'm not even interested in her design. That was one of the reasons I almost skipped. The second reason is, well, I couldn't build so many characters because there was Hyacinth, there was Phainon, there was Archer, and then there was Saber as well. And we all know they put Fate Collab 1 week after Phainon's banner, which is like, how do you build so many characters? But what made me pull the trigger was she was good with characters that I like to play with. And at that point in time, I main Yunli, so it was really a game changer. And she also fit into basically every other team and being super good for 0 cycles. Do you guys already own Cipher? Or perhaps you plan to get her on a rerun? That is all for this video. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to show me your support. This will let me know to keep making these types of videos. Thank you, and with that being said, take care and bye bye.